Welcome to Manifest Unfiltered. In this episode, we're going to talk about the difference between frequency and spiritual awakening. And then we're going to talk about how do you know when your manifestations are happening. And the third thing, we want to talk about shadow work. So we're going to dive into those three topics. If any of those interest you, then definitely stick around. And basically, I'm Randy. That's
I'm
Crystal.
Crystal.
And we're mediums, energy healers. We work with energy and our chakras and our Amaria manifesting chakra to manifest anything we want. And that's what we do. We teach people how to do that. So, all right. So we're
Where do we
starting
want to
with,
start?
okay, the difference between frequency and spiritual awakening. Because there's differences, but they also can like stack with each other. Hey, Crystal, like, yeah. So we'll see
Yeah.
how would you define like spiritual awakening? Like for me, a spiritual awakening can make you feel a little uncomfortable at first and like kind of make you question your identity, your life, your environment, the people you surround yourself with. Like you're kind of shedding the old you, is how I would say spiritual
What if,
awakening.
well, your
Hmm?
spiritual awakening is the moment you realize that there is, you know, life on the other side. When you've kind of realized that there's your guides, your angels, there's God, all of those things, and we're not here alone. So when we go through that process, then yeah, you have the what you just said. It could be
Hmm.
uncomfortable, shedding your old skin.
Yeah. Yeah. But then on the other side of that, it's like freeing and fun and, you know, finding out answers about yourself and or other areas. Like,
It's very liberating too.
yeah. So that's kind of like a lot of people talk about, oh, I'm having spiritual awakening. And then some people are asking, well, what's the difference of that and then raising your frequency? And there is a difference.
Well, when you raise your vibration over time, you change your frequency.
Mhm.
And as that increases higher and higher, I think it opens the door more into the spiritual realm. And that spiritual awakening becomes more powerful, more connected, because it's easier to connect.
Yeah. So we're also saying like it's kind of crazy. Like when you raise your frequency, it can trigger a spiritual awakening. And then a spiritual awakening, or the opposite, a spiritual awakening can trigger like raise your frequency.
Yeah, they're very much
Yeah.
related, but one does
Yeah.
not cause the other. Like, they can both cause each other, or if that makes sense.
Yes, that makes sense. Yeah. You said, I can't remember what you said, but you said you had a kind of a cool, crazy spiritual awakening story to share.
Oh, yeah, because when I had my spiritual awakening, like it just hit me like a ton of bricks. I had an energy session for the first time in my life, and I've never had one before. And it was very, very powerful. And in that moment, like everything in me opened, and it was just like being hit by a freight train. All of a sudden, I was exposed to things that I had never been exposed to before. Like my energy changed, my sleep changed, my body changed. The foods I could eat before I could no longer tolerate. Like in that time frame, I quit smoking, I quit alcohol, I quit drinking pop just because my vibration energy switched. None of those things I could tolerate before. I was a pack a day girl, like smoked a pack of cigarettes a day, loved it, loved Diet Pepsi, loved my beer,
You loved
but
your
none of those
wine.
things, yeah, none of those
Yeah.
things could function in my world anymore. And it just was like instantly, like my body just shed everything it needed to be shed in order to go forward. And I'm not talking like I quit smoking like just cold turkey. I decided on a Wednesday and did it on Friday. Like there was nothing, no going back.
That's
I'm
crazy.
not saying it was easy, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, that's how fast that hit me. And then when that door was open for me, my vibration and my energy and my frequency just went right through the roof.
That's crazy. Like, how long did it take you to kind of adjust to that?
A year
Holy
at
shit,
least.
really?
Because it went up so far. You got to think of like if like, just the
What?
kind of person I was, having a company, exhausted, 3 kids, and just
Yeah.
even myself as a person, right? Like rarely exercised because I was running off my feet. Did no personal self-care, nothing, never took care of myself. Drank, smoked, lived off coffee. Like, I drank a pot of coffee myself a day.
Your poor fucking nervous system.
Oh yeah. So like, so if you can imagine all of a sudden just being
No.
hit by a flood train of energy and
Yeah.
having that shift overnight, it took me a long time to adjust. And the change was so dramatic and so quickly, like even I didn't recognize myself anymore. And I struggled to be like, a whole new identity. I had a
Yeah.
little bit of an identity crisis.
Yeah. That is so strange. I don't think I ever like mine have never been like hit hard like that.
Mhm.
Mine were like gradual. And I remember the last one I had, or not maybe the last one I had, but this one is the most thing that pops in my memory. I remember thinking like being very uncomfortable, feeling very lost, unsure about like myself, my life, questioning like everything. Like, what am I doing? Like, what's my purpose? Like, why am I? And then I kind of got like, I felt like I was getting honestly to the point of like depression. Like, I was
Oh, really?
getting really, really low and I didn't know what to do. And then you and I went to the retreat. And then Melissa looked at me and said, I had like from a message from my team that like you're not depressed. You're
Mm,
having an awakening. You're just transcending, like I'm transcending, I'm going up.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, like, but why, like, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, why would that be a part of the process? Like, why would I feel so low and like, ugh, no joy, just like, meh is the only way I can describe it is, yeah.
Yeah, mine was like, yeah, I can understand that because if it's a slow, like up, 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 like that
Mhm.
energy just slowly leaves, where mine was just like
Boom.
kicked out the door and it was like, come on, we're going crazy and you're riding shotgun. Let's go. Like there's no, when the
I
universe
kind
decides, you're gonna just do something and it's
of,
time. It's
yeah.
like it's like
Oh,
you fucked around long enough. Like, let's go.
yeah. I wish mine was like that. I think all of mine have been like a slow, gradual process. I've never had just like boom. I mean, not that I remember, anyways.
It was like just having a light switch turned on in me.
That's intense
It
because,
was. And I remember at some point too, because it was so much like I'd actually kind of was like, you know, almost resentful in a little ways sometimes, like in the early
okay,
stages, because my life had changed so much. Like there was no gradual, but then I'm not the kind of person that does gradual. Like if you give me
no,
gradual change, I'll fuck around with it. If you give me a hard deadline, then I'm like, ooh, gotta get her done. So I understand why it probably happened that way for me, but
yeah.
yeah,
And I guess maybe I just need slow and steady. Maybe I don't know. Wasn't ready for it and to be oof. Yeah.
I didn't know I was ready either. I was just like I was forced into being ready.
Isn't that funny how the universe or whatever you want to
Mhm.
say, it just it just decides for you sometimes. Like it's like, okay, yeah, now's your fucking time.
Yeah, like you don't really have any control over how it's
Mhm.
going to come through. And
Yeah.
there, I know like there's people that would probably love my story, like that feeling of connection, like, just to come in and make my whole life different overnight.
Yeah.
But it was very shocking. But then I understand that people constantly have gone through the process of trying to raise their vibration. You see commercials with it all over YouTube
I know.
and
I
Facebook
know.
and TikTok to raise your vibration. And I realized they're
Yes.
trying to achieve what I had, like what I
Yeah.
went through by raising their vibration, changing their frequencies, and hoping that they'll
Yeah.
experience what happened to me overnight.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so curious to see if what other people's experiences were. Like, I just see like what's the commonality thing? Like, do a lot of people have
Comment
what
if you
you
guys
have?
feel comfortable sharing.
Yeah. Or like has people, experienced it the slow, painful way that I had. But at the end, on the other side at least, you feel amazing. It
You
feels
do.
better. It's just getting through that little murky-ish stuff. But, like, even for you, you changed 3 huge things. Or I guess
Yeah.
no, 2. Well, no, 3 because of the pop. So the drinking, the smoking, and probably eating too. Like, you probably stopped eating I don't know, maybe you stopped eating less junk food. I don't know if you eat junk food before, but if it was just
Well, see, like I didn't really eat, like I didn't really drink a ton of pop, but I
oh, okay.
did like the occasional, like,
Oh, yeah.
like I'd have maybe 3 a week or 2 a week.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I wasn't a huge pop drinker anyway,
Yeah.
but I just, like, I liked that Pepsi, and I couldn't even process it, like, no. And my food, that did change, like,
Yeah.
absolutely it did. Ate lots of, like, comfort foods, for Travis, like, big
Yeah.
meals, to no.
Yeah, like
And then
nutrition wise, I know that changed for me. Like I'm all about like feeding my body now, you know?
mhm.
Whereas before I didn't really care. Like, like, oh yeah, whatever. I'll just eat
I think
this.
that's also part
Yeah.
of your 20s, like, your 30s, like, you're just like, "Ooh, I'm a rock star."
Yep.
And then,
Yeah.
you get a little older and your energy changes, your feelings, your that
Yeah.
physical energy, you have to feed it your body differently.
Yeah. 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 That's kind of cool. Those are two different experiences. I honestly am so grateful for that message because I was really didn't know what to do with
Mm,
myself. Like I
mm.
didn't know if it was like situational depression or like I really needed some medication or like this is just, I was just so lost. So that was like perfect timing because as soon as she gave me that message, obviously I was just like, oh, like I could breathe. And then I knew this was a temporary feeling and that that's okay.
I've had lots of friends when they've gone through theirs, they said they suffered, like, headaches, lots and lots of headaches, and just exhaustion.
I wonder what, like, is there a list of like typical signs, physical signs? I wonder.
Oh, you want me to Google it?
Is there typical signs of physical signs, I guess. Okay, let's do that. Physical signs of an awakening, spiritual awakening.
Yeah, I never felt like I had none of that exhaustion. I had none of those headaches. Like, I had none of that. I was just, like, very much aware of everybody else's reaction to me and to my change.
Well, because that's a lot of things you changed in a matter of a day. Like, and
Yeah,
it
but
would
I was,
be
like,
weird. Like,
super happy and bubbly and positive and just having my best life, but, I was hyper aware of everybody's reaction to me, because then, of course, now I could feel all of that.
yeah, that's the thing. Me being able to feel more things and that one out too. Okay. Oh my God. Here's some common physical signs people experience. Number one, fatigue, or yours, sudden energy shifts. So they're either feeling exhausted for no clear reason or just a random burst of energy.
I was like I
Like
was on
that's you.
crack. I was just like, "Woohoo."
Yeah, here's the other one, head pressure or headaches. Number three is like heart, chest sensations, like fluttering, heaviness, and like emotional waves you kind of feel. Number four is digestive issues, bloating, appetite changes, and gut sensitivity. What?
Gut sensitivity? Well, that's just that being able to
Yeah.
see, like, I couldn't have pop, I couldn't have coffee, I couldn't eat foods that, you know?
Yeah. Okay, and that's because your gut's obviously connected to your nervous system, which, shifts your nervous system as well. And then the other one is like sleep disruptions, waking up at night, vivid dreams, trouble falling asleep. Number six is sensitivity increases. This was me. Oh my God. Noise, people, environments, feeling overwhelmed, like needing more alone time. That was totally me. I had a hard time being around people, sounds. Like if there was like three or four people in a room, that was too much. But it's just my ears were so sensitive, like heightened, like as if I had like hearing aids in and they're just amped up.
My
And
ears
then
were
my ears
always
would
felt
ring.
plugged.
Mhm.
My ears felt plugged.
Oh, mine was just
And
ring, like
so
almost like I had tinnitus, but like,
but I had
yeah,
to go in and then open the chakras in my ears and allow that energy to flow. Like, if you've never,
yes.
for
Yeah.
those that are listening, if you've ever gone
Yeah.
into the chakras in your ears and just kind of balanced a little bit of that equilibrium in there.
Like it would be hard because like how do you sometimes it'd be hard to determine whether this is actually like something else is going on, whether it's stress, diet, hormonal changes, like an actual physical real thing happening or a spiritual
Mhm.
awakening. So it'd be hard sometimes to like determine that a bit, hey?
Well, I think if you have those symptoms without the connection to spirit and the synchronicities and the signs and the strengthening of your intuition, then,
Mhm.
you should obviously go get checked. Always get checked.
For sure. Like,
Hmm.
yeah. So you're basically, I feel like the spiritual awakening, you're no longer like ignoring yourself or pushing your needs to the side.
Yeah.
Like you are showing up differently. You're going to start taking care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually.
Well, you see yourself differently. And you see yourself as part of the whole, and you see the people around you differently. Like, and that
Yes.
comes, we've said that before, like where you start to meet people where they're at
Hmm.
instead of where you think they should be, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you start to have that for yourself as well, where you just, instead of beating yourself up all the time, you're like seeing yourself for who you are, the struggles that have got you to this place, and you have that empathy for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, curious to know who's had or is having a spiritual awakening and what did you experience? Yeah. The next thing we want to kind of dive into is how do you know when your manifestations are like happening? They're going to show up in your reality soon. Like they are in the process and boom. Because like a lot of people ask that, and a lot of people have different experiences, but I think the commonality things is like signs and synchronicities and the way you feel
Your
would
intuition.
probably, yeah, like the top three things, hey, that are
Yeah, like,
common.
nobody's gonna write you a letter that mails it and, says, "This is it. This is the right decision." Like, it's just not gonna work that way. You have to trust the signs. You have to ask for signs. You have to trust the synchronicities. And what we mean by synchronicities is if you think that you are wanting to buy a black car versus a white truck, and everywhere you go you see pictures and billboards of white trucks and not black cars, trust that it's a white truck that you're supposed to buy, not the black car. Like, those are what we mean by synchronicities. If you want to, pick between two universities, and you see the colors or the signs for that one university over and over and over again, trust that that's the one you're supposed to choose. And then having the intuition and the awareness to look for those signs, look for the synchronicities,
Mhm.
acknowledge them.
Yeah, yeah, like being mindful and present is probably the most like the best tip you can do so you can notice those things. The other
Yeah.
kind of cool thing though, like when you're trying to manifest, say you're trying to manifest a specific car, you're not deciding on which one. Now you've chosen the one. And the same thing, or this is my sign, I know when my things are coming, is like when I see that car everywhere, that specific car, or like I see other people manifesting it, that's to me a sign that like, okay, mine's on its way. Like it's coming.
Okay.
Like, have you ever experienced that? Like all of a sudden, like say
No,
even on a TV show or like when you're watching your trash TV that we talked about in the last podcast, and like all of a sudden that a person is manifesting the same kind of thing that you wanted.
no, see, I don't really think, like, for myself, I don't really connect to that,
Okay.
because I'm just like I just look at my own, like, so I guess that's not something that I'm aware of too. Like, I don't pay attention to that. I'm looking
Yeah.
for more of, like, I walked into a doctor's office and there's a picture of a white truck on the magazine, or I'm driving into the
Yeah.
city and there's the billboard or an advertisement on one of those big screens
Yeah.
for that one university, and then I'd be like, okay, and then I'm always looking for multiples of threes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's always your go-to. Hey, your threes.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
multiples of three for me.
Yeah. So then it kind of goes into it's kind of funny that we have different experiences. Like I do see the billboards and the things that you're talking about too, but yeah, it's kind of crazy when I see people manifesting the same thing. And I'm like, yeah. And it gets me excited. Like it's
Like, I'm like, bitch, got it, where's mine?
ah! I'm just so happy for that person. And I'm just like, oh my God, look, mine's on its way. Yeah. So it's kind of cool in that sense. But then we kind of go into like this is where we wanted to talk about like so following the signs and synchronicity and that knowing now it's like coming, but then we come across obviously sometimes during the process that doubt kind of creeps in. So the one thing we wanted to share that when you have doubt, that's okay. We're human, it is a part of the process, but we wanted to talk about the difference between doubt and believing.
I think I'm with you.
Yeah.
Doubt is normal. Like you can
Yeah.
till you're blue in the face, right? Like, you can have your intuition, you can see your synchronicities. It eases your doubt and your fears, and it
Hmm.
makes you more confident. But ultimately, at some point, if you're manifesting some huger, major life changes, you're going to suffer some points of doubt. I mean, like, let's face it, it's there.
Yeah.
Especially if it's been like a big transition where it's been like a year where you're changing your whole life completely.
Yeah.
Doubt will creep in.
Yeah. It only becomes a problem when you, like you said, when you don't believe in the process, believe that it's going to happen, believe the universe and your team are like, doing the things they need to do behind the scenes that you can't see. Like it's that belief that is the probably like such a huge factor in it, in manifestation.
Yeah, treat doubt like you do having a bad day, right? Like it's just
Yeah.
there for a day, it's there for a little bit. You kind of snap out of it, you come out of it, you carry on, you get back into
Yeah.
your normal feelings of life and you carry on. But when you actually don't believe, and then,
Yeah.
it becomes more than doubt.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. It,
Just
how,
like
what would you,
water on a fire. Well,
yeah,
because
but
your energy drops, right? Your vibration drops. You're no
totally.
longer in that law of attraction for that. And that's the biggest thing, is to raise your vibration, change your frequency so you can become in that law of attraction for what it is you're manifesting. So if you don't believe it, you're
Mhm.
not in an attraction for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it would take a long time for things to come in that way. Right. So it's basically like that law of attraction. And then, like what we've talked about before, then you have the law of assumption. That's the
Yeah.
belief. You fucking know it's coming. You feel it. You know what? You trust it. It's inevitable.
Yeah, but even the law of assumption doesn't give much room for doubt.
No. No, I guess not. Hey.
But that's where that doubt kind of crosses into that disbelief, right? Law of assumption, you need to assume that it's
Yeah.
going to happen regardless.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of saying it's okay to doubt a little bit,
Yeah.
and it's okay to question, right? And then when you do, like, you ask for those signs, you ask for those synchronicities, because it's okay for your confidence to drop. That is normal. You do not have to be perfect. Otherwise, you're kind of going into that toxic positivity thing again. And the
Yeah.
universe isn't that particular to us. It realizes that we're human, we're here to have an experience, and it's not going to nail us down for that one. Like, hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else you want to share about doubt and
No,
believing?
I think that's pretty much.
Okay. The next topic we're going into, this is a very, I feel like it's an overused word. It's just like, it's just everywhere for the last, I'd say 5 years, is the shadow work. You had something specific you wanted to say about shadow work, though.
I think when it comes to shadow work, there are seriously two types of camps. The
Okay.
people that are ultra toxic positivity, who avoid shadow work at all costs because it's negative and they think it lowers their vibration. And, you don't have problems because problems bring you down. And then we just avoid, avoid, avoid. And we live this
Light,
ultra
love and
perfect life.
light.
Yeah, because if you think it and you believe it, you become it. So therefore your shit don't, you know,
Yeah.
but it festers under the surface. And I mean, eventually it has to be dealt with. And then you have the types of people that go into shadow work. And I think this is a huge trap in the manifesting industry, where you have to heal yourself in order to manifest. So then people are constantly caught in a trap of trying to heal, trying to heal, trying to
Yeah.
heal. And then they take it to the point where it's almost like toxic positivity, because you're trying to heal everything in order to move forward, which is damn near virtually impossible. I mean,
You're always going to have things to work on.
well, yeah, and that's just the way life is. And you don't have to be healed at 100% in order to manifest something new, manifest it all, connect to energy,
No.
deserve it, whatever kind of bullshit that you think you need, you don't have to.
Yeah. It kind of goes, Crystal and I always have a saying, and I think it's awesome. I don't maybe being biased, but what we always say, asshole still manifests.
Yep.
Like, have you ever like seen one of those just those what do you want to say douchebags of a person, like just a not a good person, but they have everything they want.
Yep.
And anything they want, it happens fast and quick for them. And they're not working on themselves. They don't care sometimes how they're treating people or the like,
It's all in how they connect to energy.
yeah. So it truly, truly does not matter
Nope.
on what you want to heal. But that kind of goes back to our last podcast when we are saying if you want to know some limiting beliefs, some things that are blocking you from moving forward, absolutely you're going to work on healing those. And that will help open the doors quicker and speed
Well, yeah.
things up.
When you
But
connect with your energy centers, they will reveal to you what it is that you need to work on or heal to go forward in your life, like, to
mhm,
manifest what it is you want to manifest. So you don't have to spend all this time healing all this trauma or perceived trauma. I mean, sometimes okay, then I say that and I don't mean to be rude by it, but I've
yeah,
seen like very normal, healthy people who have had average life experiences go down this massive healing journey because they believed that they had to heal in order to
yeah,
manifest. And so then they're creating, and because healing is traumatic or whatever it is,
yeah,
creating these huge major things like a mountain out of a molehill, trying to satisfy this whole healing component of manifesting. And it's just like, dude, you didn't even need to do that.
yeah.
Like that to me, that's just that toxic positivity.
You know, if this is what it comes down to too, like when people say they go to therapy and they just repeat that story over and over and over and over again, I honestly feel like that's not good in terms of energetically.
Yeah.
Like you're kind of staying in that state. So like I understand like you vent, get it out, let it do what you need to do, express it, whatever. But then when you keep repeating the same thing, I don't
But
know.
they're
I don't
caught
know
in
if
that
I agree
traumatic
with
response. Like
sorry.
they're just caught in that trauma and they stay in that trauma.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, so your dark side, your shadow work is healing the things of you that need to be healed, in order to
Yeah.
be more in that love and light state that we said earlier, right? And
Yeah.
raise your vibration. Because if you want to think of as shadow work as what's kind of keeping your vibration low or not doing the shadow work. But really, you can raise your vibration without completing all of that shadow work. Your The things that happen to you that kind of comprise that is part of you. It's what made you you today. It put you in that journey today, like, so you can't ignore it because it's part of you, and you can't change it, manipulate it because it's already happened. It's part of you. You can just
Mhm.
accept it, and the goal is to have it no longer affect your day-to-day life.
Yeah. 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 It's kind of yeah. I was having that conversation with Dan the other day. Like, if you could go back in time, like you remember everything from this day, and you can go back in time, would you do that? And like, what would you change? And honestly, we both kind of said like nothing because all those things that happen, you're right. Like they made us who we are. They made us more stronger, confident. You know, take care of ourselves more, put our needs, first. And like the only thing that where I was laughing, the only thing I would change, remember Hot Tub Time Machine movie when they went back in time and then they made Google Loogle because he created Google. Like I would have done that maybe, and so we were like billionaires, but
I would have bought Apple shares. Yeah.
that's what we said too, some stocks and that, yeah. So that was like the only thing we changed, but like yeah, it was a good conversation because like those experiences are important.
Oh, and I would have did laser hair therapy.
Like, you mean to burn, like, the your hair? You mean that?
Yeah, like for your leg hair, because like,
I'm
the
so
environmental waste
upset.
from razors.
I am so fucking upset because I did everything lasered, and then when I did fertility treatments, all my fucking hair came back.
Oh my
I was
goodness, that's
so
awful.
upset. And now that we're leaving to go on our trip right away, and I went to go get I'm just like, "Oh, let's get wax." You got oh, they guys, they ripped, like they burnt me and ripped my skin off. I'm like, damn it, why didn't my laser just work? Like, I was like, why didn't it? I was just so upset. Because, you spent thousands and thousands of dollars to get all this hair removal and then it came back. I was so sad that I was so sad after all the fertility treatments and hormones. I was like, what? But I did have a kind of like a, yeah, we should have used templates down there because I started to get crooked and crooked and crooked. So maybe it was a good thing all the hair came back. I don't know. I can start fresh.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Anything else? Okay, go ahead, hon.
if you are doing shadow work right now, please ask yourself how long you've been doing it.
Mhm.
Um, are you still triggered by it? And do you really need to do this stuff in order to move forward?
Good questions. Ooh, good questions.
And do you feel like you are stuck in like that healing trap? I know so many people want to heal themselves,
Hmm.
but do they want to heal themselves to release the pain? Like that, I totally understand.
Yeah.
But then what is their goal on the other side of that? Is it to, because I mean, healing doesn't mean that you forget, that you're not still affected by it. It just doesn't mean that it controls you, controls your decisions, and you're aware of it. And
Hmm.
that's my opinion, honest. Like I'm not a psychologist, obviously, but that's my opinion of where you need to be in order to like not have it influence your manifestations.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you fall into the healing trap ever?
A little bit, just with my parents and stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, and then I've just realized like that's something that I will struggle with probably forever. Like finding that because now the dynamics have changed again. So just when you think of figure it out and you're okay with it, then the dynamics change again. And that's just probably part of life and part of the journey that I'm meant to walk. So it's not going to stop me. I see it for what it is. I'm aware of it. I just try not to let it control me.
Yeah.
And if I have a shitty day, I just honor that shitty day and carry on the next day.
I think that's the most important piece is allowing yourself to have those shitty days and moments
Yeah.
and processing and just feeling the
Mm.
feels. Like just, be all in, be there for it. Like just let it happen. We all try to avoid the pain. We always prefer the pleasure
Mm.
states, right?
Well, absolutely. It's so much
Just
more fun.
seeking. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
But like I said, we're human. We have to
Yeah.
go through those things.
You know what?
Yeah.
And sometimes like you just gotta chuck it in the fucking bucket and walk away.
Yeah. Oh, I like that bucket.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys, that kind of ends this podcast. Again, please like and share this with somebody you think needs to hear this. And thank you so much for just your time and being here and listening to us. And let us know if you have any questions, anything in the comments, and if there's a topic you want us to cover, please let us know. We're happy to do so.
Okay. Take care, everybody.
Hey, guys, see you in the next podcast.